It's a really great honor to introduce and to be able to interview Ustad Rakin, Niass, Fetuga. Many of us know him in different spaces. As I said, I converted to Islam around 18, 19 years ago, and from the very beginning of my journey, I had the honor of having Rakin by my side as a friend. And those of you who had, or who know Rakin and have had him as a friend, you can testify to his loyalty and the type of person that he is. So many of us know him. I knew him initially as a hip hop artist, but some of you may know him as the arts and culture director here at Rui's Cave. Ustad Rakin Niass he's a British-born Nigerian. He's also a marriage and relationship coach. He holds a bachelor's in sociology and postgraduate certificate in social, emotional, behavioral difficulties. He is a certified relationship coach who uses techniques from solution-focused therapy to help couples prepare for marriage and helps them sort out problems that may occur in marriage. And he's the author of 2 books, Third Eye Open. Can I see a show of hands, anyone who's got Third Eye Open? All right, not enough of you. I don't know where his team is. Did they bring the copies of the first book as well? Okay, mashallah. So all of you that didn't put your hands up, you can also get a copy of that. And recently he released the second book, which is this, Getting Ready for Love. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing book. It's an amazing book because for me personally, I felt like it's incredible how he was able to draw from so many different types of knowledge in the book, not just from knowledge that's in the Quran or in the Hadith or in the Seerah, and all of that is extremely important, especially for us as a foundation for us as Muslims. But he was able to draw from other scholars and what people have written, and he was able to incorporate all of that into the book. So it's without taking any more time, can we please give a big round of applause to Rakin Niass? Your first book was a poetry book, right? And this is a completely different field. What was the reason, what was the desire, why you decided to write this book?
Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. For coming. Lovely to see all the lovely faces here, mashallah. Your question. So basically, the reason why I wanted to write this book was that, like, first of all, I've actually been married for more than 30 years myself. Mashallah. I live with my lovely wife. I've learned a lot along the way. I've learned a lot. And also many people, I've helped a lot of people, a lot of my friends. I've been involved in helping people get married. And it's funny because I remember there was one couple, and it was really interesting because they're having some challenges. And then afterwards, I was working with them, and then and we managed to sort out a lot of issues. And they said to me, you know what? You're really good at this, Do you know that? I was like, oh, thank you. He said, no, I'm not. I mean, you're really good at this. I was like, thank you. You should do this. And then I went and thought about it, and I thought, you know what? Yes, inshallah. And that was kind of how I kind of started on this journey. And it's interesting because you said that my degree was sociology. So even as a young person, I've always been interested in people. Yeah, I've always been interested in people, how they think, and even the study of sociology is really about how people work together, how they behave in groups. So just from there, it just got deeper and deeper, and then we'll get into it anyway. But I think that with relationships, there's some key things that people are missing. And this is why I created this book.
Yeah.
it is very, very high amongst Muslims. And I think there's many reasons for this. One of the key reasons is that I think Muslims, like, we need to actually look at marriage. Go back to what is marriage about? And Sheikh Abika kind of spoke a lot about this earlier on. It's to actually understand, it's really about two people who are going to go on a journey together and really work together. And the journey, it's not always smooth sailing. It's up and down, okay? And mashallah, I do like pre-marital courses, and I've worked with clients that I'm very happy with them, because like, these are people that are very serious about the journey. But some people, they don't do any work. The family organise it for them, and then afterwards they've got a massive wedding, and afterwards they're thinking about, like, yes, I'm going to come on my white horse. You don't stand behind me, and I'm going to be riding my white horse, then I'm going to get down, and I'm going to have a sword, I'll pick up the sword, and so after I'm going to charge, and you charge me up. It's nothing to do with marriage. And then inside we're going to have a chocolate cake, and it's going, and what are you talking about? And then afterwards, when they're left alone, and it's like, listen to your husband, say, well, okay, goodbye, assalamu alaikum. And then after you're in the room, you're thinking, oh, okay, oh, assalamu alaikum. So what do we do now? We can't have this. No, we cannot have this. We cannot have people, and Islam needs to be revisited, because even Islam is perfect, but it's the way that it's taught. Islam is beautiful. Rasulullah is beautiful, but it's the way that it's been taught. You know, it's like, talk about relationships, talk about like coming together, talking about these issues is really important. Okay, it's not just about, and you have to be careful, because some people, they just want to quote hadiths, and it's interesting because if you find a lot of the scholars that they want to quote, and afterwards they got a terrible marriage, but they're always quoting. How is it they're quoting, but a terrible marriage? Because they haven't understood one of the key things. You must have emotional intelligence. You must have emotional intelligence. You must have. You must be of anybody. You can't just be like a brute. You can't be a brute. And we have, unfortunately, we have some men that think that you can just go into a marriage and you just say, I'm the Amir, come here, sit down. Where's my food? Why is my food not here? Where did you get this behavior from? It's not the behavior of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But there's a lot of things that we have to go and revisit, because even I was okay, this mashallah, we are in the Rabi Awal, the month of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Got to send salam from Sayyidina Mohammed, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Mohammed wa ali Muhammad, kama salatu alayhi. I was going through the seerah in this beautiful month. And when I was going through the seerah, I just thought to myself, this is beautiful, but it focused so much on battles. It focused so much on battles. Battles it happened, but there was more time when Rasulullah was not in a battle. There's more time when he was in a relationship with his family. How he was with his family. How was he with the tribes around him? How did he treat all of the tribes around him? How did he treat the individuals? How was he with the wealthy? How was he with the poor? How was he with his family? This is what we want to know. This is what we want to know. And you don't see a lot of this. And so the way it's being taught, we need to revisit that. Marriage is like a business. It's like you're going into a business. It's like a partnership. When you go into any type of business, you sit down, okay, you know, there's rules and regulations, how you're going to behave, okay, in any type of relationship. Marriage is the same. Also, we need to know, like, for example, you need to know some serious things about your partner. You need to talk about serious things. One of the things is money. Money is a very serious issue to talk about money. How are we going to sort out the money? How is the money going to be flowing in our relations? They're very key. You have to know about this, you know. And once they know how the money is going to be sorted out, that is really, really good. Alhamdulillah. Also, where are we going to live? So, for example, traditionally in many cultures in this country, what used to happen traditionally is that someone would get married, and if it was a woman, she might get married and go and live with the in-laws. Okay? But there's many people that don't want to live with the in-laws. Because if they don't want to live with the in-laws, it's okay, but this again needs to be a discussion that happens before you get married. Also, you know, there's many things that we can look at that needs to be discussed. Like, for example, okay, are you going to live abroad? Are we going to go and live abroad? Say that the husband wants to go, he's got a plan, he wants to go and live in Dubai. Okay? But the wife, she lives in Wembley, she wants to stay in Wembley. That's her plan. Okay? Then afterwards, they've been married like 4 years, and then afterwards the husband comes home and says, Alhamdulillah, mashallah, I've just got tickets to Dubai. Inshallah, we're going next week, pack your bags, honey, we're off. And then afterwards, she's looking at him like, what are you talking about? And he's like, where are you happy? Did you hear what I said? We're going to Dubai, honey, go unpack your bags, we're off. It's like, what are you talking about? Where did you get this thing about we're going to Dubai? Did we talk about this? My children, they're in primary school, they're just about to go into secondary school now. I like my local secondary school. I've got a relationship with the head teacher, you know, she's great. We're fine here. And the husband's like, no, astaghfirullah, we're going to Dubai. This is the land of the kuffar now. You know, I've got a nice job there where we're off. This can lead to divorce. It can lead to divorce. Why? Because that discussion should have happened before they even got married. That's one of the first questions you need to ask. So, you know, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Once you have these serious questions answered, then after you can go together, holding your hands together. It's really important that you get to know that person. And there's nothing off. You ask what you need to know, ask and keep asking, and keep asking, and keep asking for a better idea. And they are words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, gifts, and physical touch. So these are the 5 love languages. So what he explains is that everyone has like a preference of what they really love, okay? So for example, say that like your partner's love language is words of affirmation. That means you need to be saying, I love you, how are you, and when they dress, I like what you're wearing, and you look great in this. When they're doing things for you, like they're bringing you dinner, oh, thank you, honey, thank you, I really appreciate that. This is words of affirmation. I love your cooking. I love when you make me this. This is so good. I mean it, so don't just say these words, like, mean it, okay? This is words of affirmation, right? Quality time. Now, like I always tell this story. I love this story, but it's a sad story, but I love it. So, because it just makes you, anyway, let me tell it to you. So, it's a couple, and the wife, she wants to get help. She goes to a counselor to get help with the marriage. And the counselor sits down and says, okay, so what seems to be the problem? And she turns around and says, well, I just wanted to talk to me. I just would like him to talk to me. He doesn't talk. Imagine that there's many relationships where there's no conversations going on. There's a lot of conversation, there's a lot of marriages like that, where there's no conversation. Just come home, shoes off, go and watch TV, whatever, come sit down, eat food. This is what quality time is about. Quality time is when you spend time together, where you can actually sit down and no distractions and talk to each other.
No Netflix?
No Netflix. The biggest challenge now, it's not even Netflix, our biggest challenge right now, what's the biggest challenge now?
Social media?
The phone. My wife says, can you put it away, please? Sorry. Just put it away. Okay, sorry about that, thank you. Right, acts of service. If you're love language acts of service, you value when your partner does things. So for example, imagine like so your husband, he's doing acts of service. So what was that? So he's going around, he's cleaning the bathroom, he's emptying all of the bins, okay? And afterwards, if you don't understand that that's the love language, then there's a problem. What needs to happen is that both people need to know the other person's love language. So for example, if your love language is gifts, you would like to have gifts, then make sure that you give them gifts. Now this is also connected, I connected this to something else, which is called the emotional bank account. And I really love this idea of the emotional bank account. The emotional bank account is when you keep, first we need to find out what your partner loves. What does your partner love? And then you keep feeding them with what they love. So imagine that their thing is personal touch. Keep them personal touch, hold hands, kissing, hugging, massage the toes. Yeah, this is personal touch. Every time you're doing all of these good things, your emotional bank account is going up, it's going up, it's going up. Now, why would you want your emotional bank account to be very high? So that when there's any challenges, because there will be challenges, but the emotional bank account is high, you can deal with any challenges. You get to really know each other, so that when they're going forward, they can support each other. And this is like, for example, in many cultures, all of us have. When you're born here and after you go and get a wife from abroad. Okay, alhamdulillah, you can do that, but like, you really have to understand each other. And sometimes some people might think, oh, I just want to get someone abroad because they're going to be, they're going to be submissive to me or whatever. So no, that's not the way to be thinking. What you need is someone that you two understand each other and are ready to work together. And to be honest, relationship, it's a work in progress. You'll see the most successful relationships are those where people are working. You have to work on it. This is another thing. Some people think that you just get married, say, alhamdulillah, mashallah, I'm married now, alhamdulillah, khalas. And you just go about your business. Hello, wife, I'll see you later. And there's no working on your relationship. You have to work on it. Anything that you want to do in life, you need to work on it. If you want to have, like a six-pack and stuff, it's not just going to come. You can't just sit at home and just say, I want my six-pack to come. You have to go and work at it. Whatever you need in life, you work on it. And relationship is the same. I really love the 4 groups. Yes, because what I did, I looked at kind of like new age kind of ideas around marriage, and looked at things that like can fit in and do fit in to us and our understanding as Muslims. And the 4 agreements do. So, for example, the 4 agreements by Don Miguel are ways of being which help you to be happier with yourself. So what are they? Like 1, agreement 1 is be impeccable with your word. I love this. Be impeccable with your word. Basically, have integrity. Have integrity. Be someone that you live by your word, you stand by your word. Sometimes we take a lot of things personally. And we have to realize that sometimes people don't mean exactly what they say. Like someone can be angry and then they've said something, then you take it the wrong way because they were angry. So, we have to kind of give people slack. So he said that, give in terms of 70 excuses. That kind of fits in there as well. And then the next one, don't make assumptions. Now, In landmarks, they're called, a course called landmark. They have the idea of stories, creating stories in your head. And that is that when you hear something, you run away and you start thinking the words, you start making stories. Why did he say that, why did he say that my stomach looks big? I know that they're trying to say I'm putting on weight. Why did they say I'm putting on weight for? So rude. And they said it in front of everybody and this and that. And they did it on purpose. They wanted to humiliate me. I know they wanted to humiliate me. They wanted to, because they hate me. They're always looking at me with jealousy. They're jealous of me. Slow down. Take a breath. Breathe. This is something that we have a lot in the community. We overthink things. We're always thinking. And this is the idea of making stories in our mind. Now, the best way to get around this is ask questions. Instead of you going away and start thinking, ask the person. Ask them. Ask for clarity. Ask for clarification. What did you mean by that? And a lot of times, once you get clarity, you'll realize that actually they didn't mean what you thought they meant. Okay? And this is part of the need. It's part of the need. We should try to be, Allah is perfect, but we should aim for perfection. Alhamdulillah? Yes. So this book is really, I wrote it as like a kind of like a guidebook, and a book where you kind of like go in and out of it. You can read it. It won't take you long to read from beginning to end, from A to Z. It won't take you long. But the main idea is you to be kind of going in and out, picking things out, reading something, and then also to read further. So you might read something and think, oh, okay, that's interesting. Let me go and read further about that point there. And it's something to keep going back to as a reminder. Because as we know, with marriage, as we say, it's a full-time job. So it's something you keep going back to. Also, it's for those who are getting ready to get married. It's for those who are already married. Because some people that are married, they're having some terrible crisis in their marriage. And it's because one of the biggest areas that we ever talk about is like communication. Because sometimes two people they're talking. They're actually talking to each other. There is noise happening. The only problem is that noise is going two ways, but no one's hearing. No one's hearing what the other person is saying. Then it takes a third person to come in and then say, something, he's upset with you because you did this. And you'll be like, I can't believe you said that. I told you yesterday. No, it's because there's no listening going on. There's a lot of talking and no listening. So we need to make sure that we're listening. Communication is key. Also, another thing, if your partner says something that upsets you, you need to be able to explain in a nice, beautiful way. I'm upset. When you did this, you made me feel like this. That's very nice, very clear, an easy thing to say. When you did this, you made me feel like this. Nice and easy. What a lot of people do, they get upset, they don't say anything. And then they say, the husband says, why didn't you tell me? You should have known. What are you talking about? It's not a brain reader. You need to be able to explain and say clearly what the issues are. And then, once you know what the issue is, it's your job to work on it.